Mike's Hard Hitting Lab. It's open for business. It's presented by Mike's Hard Lemonade. Hard days deserve a hard lemonade. And the Cubs will average 5.82 runs per game. That's best in all of the bigs. But as of late, well, the bats, they've been scuffling just a little bit. We saw them at one point in the season averaging over 6 runs per game. They were in the catbird seat, but Cliff, as we talked about, the things haven't been the same over the last few days. It is a small sample size, but ... runs per game. The last 2.75. Cliff, the key indicator has been if the Cubs are able to score more than 3 runs per game or 4 runs per game, they are in business. But you see the 20-25 average, that's where they really want to be, 5.82. The batting average, it's fallen off. The on-base percentage, it's followed suit. Everything has taken a nosedive. So are the bats really in a slump, or is this just baseball right now?
I won't say it's a slump. I would say they're just missing their pitches in certain situations, right?
Okay.
So you go back to yesterday's game. You have Matty Shaw after Justin Turner gets a knock. You have Matt Shaw in a 3-1 count. And I'm thinking, if you're going to get Abbott at any point, that's it. And that ball's in the plate. It was up in the zone, but it was still, if you're going to go at a 3-1, right, to me, you do some damage with that pitch. Not overpower it. And then Happer has him 3-1 again, the next guy up in the plate. And he fouls off some few pitches, right? And I'm saying to myself, okay, you foul him off, boom. I mean, that's a nice curveball by Abbott, but he just misses it. So these are moments where you're saying, are they chasing out the zone? No. The frustration does set in. And I think that's the biggest thing that you don't want to have is the frustration setting in where you start trying to be Superman. You start trying to do things uncharacteristically. So I think the team is still in great shape. You talk about 4 games. So small sample size, but it's just the little things. And then you look at Tucker, and it kind of goes through him. And I said that with the lineup, right? So he's hitting second with Lodolo on the mound. But I think the biggest thing for me, Cole, is if he's not going, then you're probably going to struggle. And you see it on his face, right? You see him. We always talk about how calm, cool, and collected he is. But when he's missing these pitches and rolling over, you see,
he's not a fan of
killer. But it's just the way it is. You can, the frustration is there, and it happens. When he goes, the team goes. It just seems to happen that way. And when you're the best player, then you're gonna have situations like this that you feeling the heat a little bit more than normal.
Yeah, isn't it crazy what a difference a run makes? Because the Cubs, when they score 3 runs or fewer, they're 5-15. When they score 4 or more, get a load of this, 30-7. Because that's a huge difference. The line of demarcation, it's nothing close.
Snowball effect, right? So everything calms down, right? The pitchers don't have to feel like they're being perfect. They see it, right? They see the offense is kind of sputtering a little bit. And so you kind of, doing things just a little bit different than you normally do. And throughout 162 games, guess what? You're going to have a ton of situations where you're feeling like, you know what? We're not the same team right now, but how do we get back on track? I don't think you change anything. In my eyes, you don't change nothing other than when you do get in these counts, because you've been doing it the whole season, then you ambush, then you ready to hit. You're not thinking that it's going to be an all-speed pitch. You send fastball. When you get it, attack it and do what you've done the whole season.
You like to golf?
Love it.
Okay. How about the golf comparison right here? When the Cubs are going good and scoring runs, it's like being able to hit those long drives and second shots. You're on every par 5 in 2, so you don't really mind the 3-putt. That's okay, but when you're not hitting fairways and you're spraying things around you, 3-putts, you have to keep those at arm's length, and that's what the Cubs have to do. They have to have solid pitching when they're not able to plate those runs, right?
And that's what they're doing, right? You're trying to get the pitching where you need, and listen, the pitcher wasn't there yesterday, but you still have to think that Colin Wright had a decent game. It was going okay. If you score a few runs, then it kind of calms the storm. I think that's what's been happening for me the whole season is where they've gotten the luxury of having 5, 6 runs a game.
Yeah.
So then the pitcher's out there going, well, if I give up 2 or 3, it's no biggie. You don't have that luxury now, so that's when everything kind of gets a little tight.
The Cubs right now, +91 run differential. That's second in all of Major League Baseball, trailing only the New York Yankees.